This what is called the paradox of plenty of the resource course, affecting many African countries that become like rentier states, where dependence on crude oil has meant that you have sort of repressive governments. Even if you have democratic government, it still controls a huge share. Talking about entry and re-entry every year, the United States will say certain countries have met certain standards and will have to make an whole re-entry and into the act. Tell me what you think. A number of talk has gone about trade barriers and saying that systems must run in a way that would eliminate subsidies, over government control over institutions, and all of that, and must promote sort of American, if it wants to bid, for example, for interest. A lot of people have said that this sort of destroys the local economy and sort of puts Americans overall higher than the national of the country. What's your thinking around this?
I mean, if they are making that kind of offering to us, they won't be stupid by just giving all that without expecting something in return. And that's why when you're getting those kind of opportunities, you also look deep. What are other things attached to this? So, as far as they're concerned, these are the conditions that have to be met such that you can be pulled out and taken back if you don't meet certain conditions, just to ensure that they are able to still have the control they want to have, and at the end of it, they achieve their objective, because they always have objective for them to be able to, to bring those things up. So for me, I'm not really surprised. I expect that if they're giving us that sort of an opportunity, there should be conditions attached to it such that you don't just get it by fiat. If you miss any condition, you remain. If you're not, then you pull out. So I think it's just okay, in my opinion, because they are opening up the economy for us, and they will definitely attack conditions. Just like, I don't know if you're aware of the EPA. I mean, the EPA we have European is pretty much similar to AGUA, only that AGUA is a law of the United States, EPA is an agreement that you have to sign. But the same issue, in fact, for the EPA is even having a number of other issues that we are not, that, because as far up until the last time that they met at the chamber, only Nigeria and I think Gambia are yet to sign. Almost every other West African country have signed. But our concern also are the same issues. You have an interest. This interest is not in our favor. We're not going to sign.
Does it impact on the local economy in any way? For example, you have industries where you have a huge number of American products, for example, coming to the country, and then you have the local competing brand in the country, for example, that doesn't enjoy the economies of scale, for example, and then it's producing at a much lower cost than we can afford in the country. I mean, a lot of Nigerians still live in subsidies, even though the capitalist system doesn't encourage sort of practices. What's your perspective?
If they're going to give that leeway, they also expect their people to have business coming into Nigeria. Obviously, if we are there in terms of development, in terms of production, that should not really be a challenge. I mean, it's now who is able to do much. I mean, who is able to ship more in terms of produce more and ship more in terms of production. It's an opportunity for a particular window for you to be able to explore within that particular period. So, and for the fact that they're extending it also should give you, to make you see that, look, there's something they're expecting. Clinton started 2000 to 2008. By 2004, Bush extended it 2015. Now, before 2015 last, Obama extended by 10 years. So there's something they're looking at, and obviously they're benefiting from it. And I expect that from them, because they will just do that without expecting something from us. Unfortunately, on our side, we have not developed to the level to be able to ensure we're able to match up. And he was talking about the banks, for example. If I go to scale in export, you need financing. Unfortunately, major exports in the world, I mean, more than 80% of exports done in the world is done on open account. Open account is a process whereby I ship to you, you pay me after you've seen the goods, sometimes once down the line. Meaning, if anything happens, if you are insolvent, you will be able to pay. Meaning, if you are fraudulent, you will not pay. Meaning, if the good have problem, you won't pay. But 80% of what is done on this. Now, a Nigerian bank, who number one do not understand export well enough, they're not saying you should fund a transaction that is having this high risk. That's not going to work. So the implication of that is that it's going to be challenging for export to grow. Why? The people who are supposed to help with funding to grow the sector are not doing it.
I'm sorry, Vicky, which is the bank? Because I've been to a number of expos where countries, trade fair, what they call them, trade missions, they call their business. And I find usually they will come with a banking partner like Nexim Bank and all those sort of banks, that the job is deliberately to provide a credit facility for the investors who have come from their countries to do business with Nigeria. And it's always very neatly arranged. So you're saying we don't have the bank, for example, that will help investors. We go for sort of trade missions to say this is the bank that will guarantee Nigerian investors overseas.
Nigeria have Nexim Bank.
Yes.
Last year, CBN came up with ESF, Export Stimulation Fund. That was, I think, May, June last year. A number of individuals have applied through the commercial bank, through Zenith, through Nexim Bank, down to CBN. The approval have been on CBN table for more than 6 months. They've not been approved. They've not been disbursed. And now, so the commercial bank done their bit. The exporter have done the bit applying. The commercial bank have done their bit. The Nexim Bank have done their own part also. It's now with CBN. And talking about government policy, one of the things I wanted to mention that challenge is that if government put policy in place to encourage export, then if you say this is what you want to do, then do it. Don't say this is what you want to do, and then we wait for you to implement it. You said we should do ABC, we've done ABC, everybody is waiting for months. Of course, you could have whatever excuse it is you're giving, but remember that you are the ones encouraging us to export. You are the one not providing the fund, a single digit for them to be able to do the export. That's for people that have applied. So Nexim can only do this much. If they, first of all, I have issues with some of the things they do in terms of, I think they've worked on that now. Before there was more on the large corporate, not SME. Maybe I think they're doing something on SME now. So they also have their challenges. But sincerely, whatever, be it government bank or commercial bank, in Nigeria today, there is a high gap, knowledge-wise, as far as export is concerned. On the import, they're doing well because they've been doing it for years. But the export, we're not really doing so well because the people, and you know what? If banks and financial institutions are very sound in export, sincerely, export will grow naturally. Why? It becomes easier for them to ensure that if you are going to ship these goods, the chance that it will go back will be lower because of the system and process that we put in place and the mitigants we put in place. Meaning you are going to be able to ship successfully, meaning more people are going to be able to have successful exportation, and eventually the business will be able to grow. So on the part of the bank, I'm not sure we're there yet, and that's a major challenge for us to be able to grow.
Thank you, Bamidele Ayemibo, for your contribution this morning. Chairman, Export Group, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We're talking about AGOA and how much Africa is underutilizing or benefiting from AGOA. Thank you once again. We'll cross over to Abuja studios where we have Ofon Udofia. Port Harcourt, I'm sorry. I'm so used to Abuja. Ofon Udofia, Executive Secretary, Institute of Export